Okay, well, welcome to the May 3rd meeting of the Town of Conception Bay South Town Council. It's great again to be back in chambers and another beautiful day here in CBS. We're going to start off this evening with adoption of the meeting agenda for tonight. Someone move that, please. Moved by Councillor Butler, seconded by Councillor Connors. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Adoption of the meeting minutes of May 3rd. Moved by Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Hardy. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with this meeting and meetings going forward as everything is fluid. Visitors, presentations, and petitions. And tonight we have one proclamation, the National Public Works Week, and I'll call upon Councillor Gerard Tilley to bring that proclamation forward.
Thank you, Worship. May 15th to the 21st is National Public Works Week, and the theme for Public Works Week this year is Ready and Resilient. So whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees from provincial and municipal governments and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Canada to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. Whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Be it now resolved, I, Gerard Tilley, Councillor for the Town of Conception Bay South, do hereby designate the week of May 15th to 21st, 2022 as National Public Works Week. I urge all our people to join with representatives of the Canadian Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Town of Conception Bay South to be affixed. Done at the Town of Conception Bay South, this 17th day of May, 2022.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. And of course, we have a fantastic group of public works workers here in Conception Bay South to make sure, you know, that things are running smooth and we don't have to worry about drinking water that comes out of our taps or the piping and so forth. And when something goes wrong, they're at the ready, you know, 24 hours a day to try and fix it as quickly as possible. So I commend them and I thank you for the proclamation, Councillor Tilley. New business. So tonight we are going to start with Councillor Shelley Moores.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. As most of us know or know here, the Shield hockey tournaments are currently ongoing at the Conception Bay South Arena. These hockey tournaments normally take place during Winterfest, but were postponed due to COVID-19. The tournaments are annual fundraisers for the schools with money from the admission going back to our local junior high and high schools. Last night, the Queen Elizabeth Pioneers won both the Annie Parsons Shield and the Fred Choir Shield, ending both series in just 2 games. So I would like to point out, for those of us who were in attendance, there was a lot of competitive nature there, and it was so good to see so many people at the rink from Holy Spirit and Queen Elizabeth, which we haven't seen in a long time, so it's good to see some, you know, friendly competition. I'm not going to make a comment on who I thought should win. Tonight, the junior high schools will play Game 2 of their series, with Frank Roberts winning Game 1 for both the male and female divisions. We are also very excited to announce information regarding this year's Calabrese soiree. This year's festival will be taking place from July 9th to 15th and will be a week filled with music, culture, and fun. On Saturday, July 9th, the town will hold the annual Calabrese soiree garden party. This will be a 19-plus concert at Sergeant Ned Nugent's Field with a great musical lineup featuring The Sure Thing, Rum Ragged, Bick and the Ballpoints, and East Coast Music Award winner Justin Fancy. Gates will open at 6:30 p.m. with music at 7. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, May 18th at 12 noon through Eventbrite. A limited amount of early bird tickets will be available for $20 plus HST and surcharge. Early bird tickets will be available while supplies last or until June 10th, 2022. General admission tickets will be available for $25 plus HST and surcharge until July 8th at 11:59 p.m. If available, tickets at the gate will be $35. Full details on how to purchase tickets will be available on the town's website or by visiting www.calagrusoiree.ca. We will also be updating our site with full schedule of events happening during the week, so check back often for all event details and be sure to get your tickets tomorrow because we have a great lineup this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. I think you had a personal interest in the Shield this year, did you not?
No, well, my nephew was playing on one of the teams, yes.
Yeah,
And my daughter was playing on the female team, so yes, there might have been a little bias there.
Yeah, there we
And
go.
there may have been some jumping on rails.
All I know is the group I was with last night were kind of pro-Queenie. So,
Yes,
you know,
so
and
go
they were-
Falcons.
they were very biased in that too. So anyways, thank you very much. Councillor Rex Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship. Your Worship, as you're aware, while you were out hobnobbing this afternoon with the royal party, many of us met with the Irish ambassador and had a wonderful luncheon at the at Manuel's River Hibernia Interpretation Centre. And I believe Councillor Connor is going to speak a little bit in depth on that in a moment. I just want to, and the reason why we met there was to celebrate the Raven Caster Many Boat Project. And I know, as I said, Councillor Connor is going to speak to that in a moment. But I just want to highlight the strength of the teachers that are involved. That's my background. I was an educator. I just want to highlight the strength of the teachers that are involved in making that and bringing that forward. They've stayed with that project for the last 4 or 5 years, and particularly Mr. Thomas Shepherd, Pat Wells, and it's an indication of the strength of the people that we've got in our education system, certainly locally and provincially. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Councillor Connors.
Thank you. Before I start, I also want to pass along congratulations to the Queenie male and female hockey teams that won last night. Now, I'm in a bit of a thing because I went to Holy Spirit. I graduated from Holy Spirit, but I coached Queenie. I coached Holy Spirit's high school team. I coached Queenie's high school team. My son and daughter went to Queenie, so I'm a little bit. If whatever team won last night, I would have congratulated them, and I'd like to see, like Holy Spirit probably come back next year and win. But then my son and my daughter won't like me doing that at all, right?
You're riding both sides of the fence there, Councillor Connors.
The connection is there. So, yep. So anyway, as Councillor Hillier just mentioned, today I, along with Councillor Hillier, Deputy Mayor Goss, Councillor Moores and Councillor Butler had the privilege to attend an event to recognise the impact that 2 of our local students are having in the field of science, technology and education in the ocean science sector, and how this project, the Ravencaster, is connecting our town, our province and our country on a global scale across this vast Atlantic Ocean. So to the point, so much to where the Irish ambassador to Canada, Cathy's eye, and he wanted to come here and visit and meet the girls that are involved with this. Some people may have heard about this on the news. It was all over the news a few years ago. But the Ravencaster project started when CBS students, Caitlin Grandy and Stephanie Evans, along with their teacher coordinator, Thomas Shepherd, created a winning video on how oceans affect climate change. This video led to the construction of the mini boat, and which was launched with the assistance of Marine Institute on the Grand Banks. It was out to sea for 102 days, and the Ravencaster was recovered on a beach on a Kill Island in Ireland. So today, the Irish ambassador to Canada, Eamon McKee, and his wife, Mary McGillis McKee, visited our town and attended the event at the Manuals River Interpretation Centre to recognise this accomplishment. I can maybe look at my notes now because I don't want to miss anything. The students are now planning to relaunch the mini boat from Ireland to see where the waves, the currents, the storms, etc. will take the Ravencaster next. I want to congratulate Stephanie and Caitlin, I'm sure all council does, on their accomplishment to date, and we'll certainly be following the relaunch. It is an incredible project, and our community should be proud that CBS students, we definitely have a bright future with leaders such as Stephanie and Caitlin. Just want to say to the town's Economic Development Department and Communications, did an exceptional job on planning the event, and our own engineering manager, planning, John McKeever, who is from Ireland, introduced the Irish ambassador, and he did a fantastic job and a very entertaining job. And then I finally want to say thank you to the Ambassador McKee and for taking time out of his busy schedule to visit our town. I just want to take another minute or so to have a few words on the new ATV regulations and our trail. So for all ATV users out there and residents in general, I just want to let you know that last week the town had a meeting specifically around the ATV use and the new regulations. It was a great discussion. We discussed everything of how these, well, not everything I suppose, there's going to be a lot of questions going to be raised, but we had a great discussion on how the new regulations can impact our town. Recently we met with the RNC, and we're planning to meet with the provincial government responsible for the ATV regulations, and we're also talking to other communities to see how they're addressing this. And as everyone knows, the new regulations come into effect on May 19th, but there's still a significant number of questions are to be answered. So I just want to say to residents in the town, please stand by. We're going to get clarification on some of the things that are stated in the ATV regulations and get clarification on it, and we'll be following up. But I guess we just wanted to let everyone know that it's a very active file right now, and council will get the answers, and so everyone can ride safely and in our town, I guess. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. I'll have a little bit to say about ATVs and the new rules in a little bit. I want to say you noted in your presentation regarding the boat, you'll be interested to see where it ends up and how far it goes next. But to be honest with you, those two young people, I'm interested to see where they can go, because tremendous work that they've done, you know, and I believe that they would be an inspiration to other students to achieve what they have and to go a long ways in this world, in this life, and from right here in Conception Bay South, and they're following a tradition of some great achievement from young women and young men here in Conception Bay South, and it'll be great to see where they go in the future, and we'll follow that for sure. Thank you, Councillor Connors. Councillor Hardy. Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Yes, it'd be great to see Ida around again this summer at some of those fairs, and she's a great promoter of her own work and others as well. So it's a fantastic series. I'm sure I haven't tried one yet, so maybe I should, and we'll see. We'll be back here in a few months and see how if everybody's tried one of Ida's books. That'd be great. Christine Butler, Councillor at Large.
Thank you, Your Worship. First off, I'd like to start by saying today, May 17th, is the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. The day was created in 2004 to draw the attention to the violence and discrimination experienced by lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex people, and all other people with diverse sexual orientations, gender identities or expressions, and sex characteristics. The date of May 17th was specifically chosen to commemorate the World Health Organization's decision in 1990 to declassify homosexuality as a mental disorder. On this day and every day, the town of Conception Bay South recognizes our ongoing responsibility to create a community of belonging. We also proudly proclaim Pride Week in June and promote awareness and support through rainbow sidewalks, social media, and other activities. I have a few notes from economic development, tourism area. 3-meter mindset. As many of you are aware, the town's annual community cleanup, called the 3-Hour Challenge, is only a couple of weeks away. In the coming weeks, we will be reaching out to our business community to encourage employers and employees to adopt a 3-meter mindset, looking beyond your property boundaries to pick up litter that may have been blown around your parking lot or has accumulated in ditches or along fences will go a long ways to combat some of the issues we are seeing around town and hearing about on social media. Residents can also support this initiative. Picking up will make a positive impact. We all love our town, and taking pride in our community is the ultimate goal. A little note on student employment opportunities. The Conception Bay South Parks Commission will be hiring 2 students this summer to support ongoing environmental and community development initiatives. The deadline to apply is May 20th, and the details on the positions are listed on the town's website. And a little note on trail etiquette, cyclists and pedestrians. Be considerate of others users when using our trail systems. Using a bell or saying on the left gives users a chance to react for a safe pass. Keep a reasonable pace. These are routes meant for casual rides or active transportation. Pay attention. Slow down in busy areas or where there are commonly slow-moving trail users. Watch the signage and obey the traffic laws. Many trails intersect with roads, and some designations may change or connect with routes which do not have cycling designations. Pedestrians should keep to the right when walking and step aside to let cyclists pass. And a couple of congratulatory notes. Our residents are absolutely rocking it in the East Coast Music Award scene. Congratulations to our very own Contemporary Roots Recording of the Year, Quote the Raven, Can't Hold the Light, Quote the Raven. Fan Choice Entertainer of the Year, Justin Fancy. Fan Choice Video of the Year, Mallory Johnson and Twin Kennedy, Wise Women. And last, okay, we'll clap for that. And last, I just happened to see this today on social media. The Canada Games 2022 female indoor team announcement for volleyball. And the NLVA has announced her final roster for 2022 Canada Games in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Congratulations to all members of the team, and a special congratulations to the 3 who live in our beautiful town of Conception Bay South. Maria Moores, Jenna Lake, and Maddie Kennedy. Congratulations, ladies. And that's it, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. And I note with the 3-hour challenge coming up and encouraging folks to get out. And I can't tell you how many people I see out now that the weather's turned a little bit better with walking their dog or out for a walk, and they got a little bag in their hand, and they're picking up what they see along the roadways. I encourage more people to do that. It's a great practice to get into, and it helps keep our communities clean. So if you see something somewhere, or if it's a big mess somewhere, let the town know, and we can maybe help out or reach out to the people that need to know and get that cleaned up. So it's something that happens every spring. Snow and the dirt uncovers the mess left behind over the winter, unfortunately. Councillor Gerard Tilley.
Thank you, Worship. Several items to mention this evening. I just want to touch upon a few project updates that's going on through the town. One is the Parents Road traffic lights. Work is continuing on there, and of course, I think there was a couple of traffic delays there today because they were putting on some pavement and putting some curb and gutter and stuff. Easton's Road traffic lights, they are continuing as well. Our library next door project is steadily moving along, seeing more progress day after day, so we look forward to that opening up in the very near future. Of course, our community park construction is ongoing. Crews are currently on site installing the actual splash pad and the ice skating surface. Just a reminder to residents that our bulk garbage collection is continuing, and the next one will be on May 28th. So we ask that residents look at the town website for any information they may have on that. And of course, as well, our residential pickup is currently available, and we ask that anyone who have any questions or concerns, if they hop onto our website and get all the information they require for that. The shore stabilization project, where we had some issues with I guess the degradation of the bank next to the only treatment plant we have in the town. And so, of course, we authorized some funding for that to the tune of $750,000 not too long ago. And that project is almost complete. A couple more things. Last week, I think it was the senior spring fling. It was held at the Legion. And from what I heard, feedback from a lot of the seniors, they certainly enjoyed that. And one more thing to pass along. It's not a town event, it's more of from a provincial side. Canada's Got Talent. The final show is on tonight, and Newfoundland's own Kelly Loader is one of the finalists. So I strongly encourage all the council and all the council's friends and relatives. If 9:30 tonight, you get 3 votes. So get your fingers ready at 9:30, and let's do Kelly proud and hope she represents Newfoundland, and hopefully she becomes the next winner of Canada's Got Talent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley, and thank the patience of the Deputy Mayor, but you're last but absolutely not least, so go ahead, please.
Well, thank you, Mayor Bent. First, I too have to just pass along a congratulations to the Queen Elizabeth girls and boys team. I am a pioneer, deeply rooted. So, but really enjoyed watching. It was really good hockey. I commend all the players. It was fabulous. And it's good to see that the school community spirit is alive and well in Conception Bay South. Anyway, I got a couple of notes to bring forward tonight. The first one is an unpleasant one, but it's in relation to some recent vandalism that we've had in the town. We've seen an increase in vandalism and graffiti in areas across the town, in areas of playgrounds, infrastructure, and public areas. This doesn't only just damage property, it also comes as a cost to the town and taxpayers when it immediately needs to be removed or repaired, and that in turn has to be paid for. And sometimes this can get expensive, and it adds up as we have multiple incidents. So we're just reaching out to residents. We encourage residents to report vandalism or graffiti in public areas to the town so we can take care of that quickly. Next item pertains specifically to Ward 2, my ward. It's the traffic pilot project for the Duns Hill Road coming up it's coming up really soon. So the town of Conception Bay South is initiating a traffic pilot project at the intersection of the Conception Bay Highway and Duns Hill Road beginning June the 1st. The project will reduce turning movements at the intersection by permitting right turns only. This means that left turning and straight through traffic movements will not be permitted for the duration of this project. The pilot project comes as a result of public engagement during the town's integrated transportation study, which indicated that left turning movements and sight distances at this intersection can be challenging and unsafe. The pilot project will assess traffic safety of the area, intersection conflicts, impacts to adjacent streets, and updated traffic counts. And this project will be in place for approximately 12 months. I've had a number of calls on this and emails, and I direct residents to go to our webpage, the town's website, and all the details are there, and just be patient, and let's see how this rolls out. The last item I have is we have a new resident in Conception Bay South, and I just want to put out a welcome. She's one of the 167 Ukrainians that landed here in St. John's last week. She's living with Lori Best and her family here in CBS. Her name is Hannah Sukinyets, and I hope I pronounced her name correctly. She's 31 years old, has a master's in law, and was working as a police officer in the Ukraine. She left May 6 by train with very tricky and challenging travel. It was pretty scary. She left her partner and his elderly mother in the Ukraine. Hannah arrived safely in St. John's with her dog and her cat, and she's residing, as I said, here with Lori Best and her family. So I just want to say, on behalf of the town of Conception Bay South, welcome Hannah to our town. And that's everything from me, Mayor Bent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Goss. And yes, welcome Hannah to Conception Bay South. It's great to have you here. And if there's anyone or any group that wants to reach out, of course, to the province that may want to assist or help or support in some way any of the people from the Ukraine who have had to make their way to Canada for safety, please do. And I know that the province is looking for some assistance, and there could possibly be another plane of people from the Ukraine, or many more planes. We don't know how long this is going to last. So it's great to have Hannah here. I won't try her last name, but it's great to have her here anyway. I just want to touch on a couple of things tonight. First one I want to say is thank you to everybody that came out and donated to the Spirit of Alex and Riley food drive earlier, I guess not earlier this week, last week now. Thousands of pounds of food, thousands of dollars raised to help the CBS Paradise Food Bank and people who need the food bank services, and that's a growing number, unfortunately, in our community. I want to thank Bernie and Louise for doing this, the 9th annual Spirit of Alex and Riley, and of course held May 9th each year, which was both of their birthdays, and in the memory of their children doing that. A special thank you to Chief Heffernan and the CBS Fire Department for going around to the schools here where the kids brought in donations of food, and our fire department helps pick up that food and gets it to the food drive each year. So tremendous effort by them, and a big thank you to everyone that donated, and of course to Majors, both the Majors Pilgrim for facilitating this event this year again. Second thing, I was very proud today to be able to represent the town of Conception Bay South and the citizens of our community at the official welcoming ceremony of their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall today at the Confederation Building. I joined other mayors from the Northeast Avalon in that ceremony, and of course the Governor General of Canada was there, Her Excellency Mary Simon, and Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland, and the Prime Minister was there. So lots of people there, and it was a great event, and a particularly Newfoundland-style welcome with Rum Ragged as one of the entertainment on scene, and I can say they're going to be at our Calabrese soiree this year, so we're in good company. They were brought out for a royal performance, so they'll do a royal performance at the Calabrese soiree, I'm sure. So that was a nice event today, and I was very pleased to be able to be there. The last thing I want to touch on is, just for a moment, is the new ATV regulations that we've been hearing about that are coming into effect Thursday, which is 36 hours from now, I guess. And those regulations are on the government website. They're in the Gazette, and I encourage residents who have concerns or interest or questions to consult those regulations and have a look at them. There's a lot of talk about safety and safe use of ATVs, motorized vehicles, and where they can access, the speeds they can go to access approved areas as outlined by the province. And as Councillor Connors pointed out, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered yet, and there's also a lot of work to be done on safety courses and safety information. But what we do know is that any users that do use them to access areas that they are to use go no more than 20 kilometers an hour. They're to be off to the side of the roadway, and they have to be insured, have a license, or be with somebody that is licensed. The town has had some talks with the provincial government regarding the regulations, and we have a meeting, I believe it's later this week or early next week, to find out some more as well, and we'll share any information we can. But like I said, this is a provincial legislation, and anybody that has any questions should reach out to either their MHA or reach out to the province and through the provincial website to get any questions that they have answered. And I think that's just about it for tonight. So we are going to move along to our business of the evening, recommendations of the Planning and Development Committee, and that's Chair Rex Hillier. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship. These are recommendations brought forward from our May 9th Planning and Development Committee meeting. Number 5A, 1639 to 1641 Conception Bay Highway. Be it so resolved that in accordance with Section 5.81 of the town's development regulations, a building line of 9 metres be approved for the proposed residential subdivision at 1639 to 1641 Conception Bay Highway for lots 1 through 13, 15 and 17 on the subdivision plan dated March 18th, 2022. Revision C on file with the town. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Connors. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, in this case, building line would normally be 10 metres. Developers asked for a variance, and that's within the discretion of council.
Sorry. Any other discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
5B, 252 Fowlers Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with council's discretionary authority at sections 13A and 15 of the town's fence regulations, application numbers 1369 and 1370 dated March 25th, 2022 for a front yard and flanking street side yard fence at 252 Fowlers Road, abutting the road right-of-way for Blackstrap Path, be approved on condition that the fence be a maximum of 1.5 metres high behind the established building line and a maximum of 0.9 metres high forward of the building line. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy. Discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
5C, 241 Spruce Hill Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with council's discretionary authority under sections 6.7, 10.7 and 10.2 of the town's development regulations, application numbers 1444, 1464 and 1470 received on April 8th, 2022 and April 12th, 2022 for a home-based business, hobby farm and accessory building at 241 Spruce Hill Road be approved. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, we did receive some letters of concern regarding this this project, and certainly had to look at them closely. In doing so, we've got a property here that's over 7 acres in size. We feel that what the applicant has asked for there can certainly be carried out in that area without affecting the surrounding residents, particularly with conditions that have been applied to it going forward.
Any further discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
5D, 184 Tillys Road South. Be it so resolved that the order issued on April 7th, 2022 under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, the Municipalities Act 1999 and the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations ordering the property owner to remove or relocate an accessory building to a permitted location on the property at 184 Tillys Road South, Conception Bay South be rescinded. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, some time ago, I spoke to the issue of residents getting permits for projects on their property. And here we have a situation where the permit wasn't applied for, and we asked that the accessory building be moved. And of course, it's a nuisance that we don't want to have to work through, and I'm sure the residents don't want to have to work through. So I go back to that point again. Please get your permits so we can work with staff and putting things like sheds in the proper place and fences in the proper place on properties.
Any further discussion?
No, just for clarification, the building was moved to another location on the property. We never asked them to remove the building in this particular case.
That's correct. It was asked to be moved to another location that fit our regulations.
Made it compliant, yeah. Any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Number 5E, National Building Code of Canada, 2020. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 4141D and 4143 of the Municipalities Act 1990, the National Building Code of Canada 2020 complete with any supplements and amendments to the code be adopted. So moved.
Seconder. Anybody? Oh, Councillor Connors. Here we go. Discussion?
Mr. Worship, this is the building code that our contractors work with and our building inspectors work with. From time to time, it's modified at the national level, and we're just bringing the last batch of modifications, I guess, forward so that we can work with those.
Perfect. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Excuse me, Mayor Ben. Excuse me, Councillor Hillier. I'm in conflict on this item. There was a discussion around a quarry on Foxtrap Access Road, and business I'm involved with has a quarry application in the area.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Hillier.
There we go. Let's try that. Just Your Worship, final recommendation coming forward is our blanket statement, and that lists all the other things that we discussed at our planning committee meeting of May 9th that didn't require a vote of council to bring forward here tonight. But these are all, obviously, there are a whole bunch of other topics that we deal with other than the ones that we bring forward for recommendation. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's it from us for tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier, and we'll bring back the Deputy Mayor. Now we have recommendations of engineering and public works. The chair is Councillor Tilley, and Councillor Tilley, with the heat that's in here tonight, I wish I'd have worn a polo shirt like you, I can tell you. It's starting to melt up here.
I still think I'm on vacation, Your Worship. Just one item we'd like to bring forward from our committee of the whole, which regarding approval to purchase digital radar feedback signs. And of course, as we mentioned several meetings ago, that we've committed to traffic calming safety in all of our school zones. And of course, part of the recommendations that we're going to purchase some digital radar signs. So be it so resolved that approval be given to purchase digital radar signs at a cost of $21,183.35, including HST, from Construction Signs Limited. Signs will be installed as part of the school zone project scheduled to begin in September. Funds are available in the so noted account. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And Your Worship, the next ones are recommendations from our Engineering Public Works meeting held on May the 10th. And the first one is the Phase 48 water and sewer approval to tender. And of course, this is just a tender, call for tender for the next roads in our water and sewer priority list. So be it so resolved that approval be given to tender Phase 48 water and sewer project. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hardy, discussion? It's good to get back to water and sewer work, Councillor Tilley, for
It is,
sure. In our community, there's people that want it and need it, and it's good to be able to do it. And hopefully the tenders will come in well enough so we can do as much as we can, but we'll
Yep.
see.
We are hoping, but I mean, I guess the trend that we're seeing right across the board is that there's some substantial increases, but we can always hope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Number 6B, water and sewer upgrades, approval to tender. As the public is aware that we had a study done, I believe it was last year, regarding our main transmission water line. And of course, we've identified some areas that need some upgrading. So be it so resolved that approval be given to proceed to tender for the water and sewer project upgrades that we so noted. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And Your Worship, I just got the blanket recommendation, but before I get into that, I know I did bring a proclamation earlier on this evening regarding Public Service Week, but I just want to take the time to recognize all of our public works staff. I mean, for the benefit of people who are not aware, I mean, Public Works, they are very heavily involved in the operations of the town. I'm just going to name a few: snow clearing, garbage collection, lime painting, water and sewer. They're just a few of the projects that our Public Works staff do. During the summer, you know, they're working 7 days a week, and then during the winter, it's a 7-day, 24-hour-a-day function. And you know, the past 2 years has been exceptionally tough on just about, well, on all of our workers, but Public Works staff in particular. You know, they've had the opportunity. They had to go work from, I guess, one meeting place to 3 separate workplaces in the span of a couple of months, and they've been doing that now for a couple of years. And I notice as well, I see it every day, is that, you know, probably some of the solace that we got during COVID is that when we got in the car, we could actually take our mask off and breathe a little. But these folks, they're on shift for 8, 12 hours a day, sometimes 6 and 7 days a week, and they had to wear those masks. And I think they're still wearing them, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, I'd just like to tip my hat to all the Public Works staff for a job well done, and certainly look forward to a good working relationship. And the blanket recommendation, be it so resolved that the recommendations decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee meeting held on May 10th, 2022 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler, discussion? All in favor?
Excuse me, Your Worship, I just a second noticed there's an item on the blanket recommendation that I had to declare a conflict of interest in, so I'll have to take that one back.
Okay.
So I'll have to leave?
Yep.
And someone,
And we'll do
can you take over?
We'll do the vote when you leave. Councillor Hardy, once Councillor Tilley is leave, you can we'll move it, second it, and vote on it. The blanket.
Okay, so the blanket recommendation for Engineering and Public Works, so moved.
Seconder? Councillor Hillier, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. While waiting for Councillor Tilley, I'll again tip my hats to our Public Works staff. You know, that's one of those jobs where, and one of the few jobs that's in the public eye where people can see you working, and a lot of people have an opinion on your work and so forth. And that's a difficult lens to work under. So it's hard to do, but they do it, and they do it. You know, when they're out doing it, it's usually sometimes in the worst of times when we need them the most. You know, to get things running again in the winter and in the summer and spring. So it's a tough job, but we appreciate the efforts that they make. Okay, We are now moving on to recommendations of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee. Chair Councillor Moores.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. Before I get to my recommendations, this just in, Frank Roberts' female hockey team just won the first ever Akita Equipment Female Shield by defeating Villanova Junior High 3-0 to capture the series in 2 games. So, huge congratulations. It's, I guess, pretty exciting times for Queenie and Frank Roberts. And all jokes aside, it's great to see all these students, athletes out competing again. And next year will be better for Holy Spirit and Villanova. There's always next year. So I'd just like to congratulate all those teams. And I think there's still games going on right now. So a couple of things that we discussed at our meeting on May 10th. The town is pleased to announce that we will be putting off 2 firework shows this year. The first will be for Canada Day, and the second during our New Year's Eve celebrations at the stadium. More information for these events will be made available on the town's website. The Recreation Department has several registrations ongoing for summer events right now and programs. First off, which I know a couple of people have mentioned, is a 3-hour challenge scheduled to take place on June 4th from 9 to 12. It's a community-wide cleanup. We are encouraging residents to pick an area of town to clean up. When you register, you will receive bags, gloves, t-shirts, everything you need to clean up your area. And you can register on the town's website, so we encourage everyone to participate in this community event. Also, registration for the summer day camp program will be starting on the town's online registration system for residents on Thursday, May 19th at 6 p.m. The camp program will be available for 8 weeks, and parents can register for as few or as many weeks as needed. The cost is $125 per week, with any additional children in the same household at a reduced rate of $100 per week. So those are just a couple of the things. There's also a very important list of dates that you'll see in our minutes. So be it so resolved that the recommendations, decisions made at the Recreation and Leisure Service Committee meeting on May 10th, 2022 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Connors. Any discussion? I can't believe, Councillor Morris, we're talking about New Year's Eve. Didn't we just have New Year's Eve?
I know.
10 minutes
just have
ago?
to put it out there, though.
Well, it's good that we're having it anyway. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Okay, so recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee Chair, Deputy Mayor Andrea Goss.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. So these are the recommendations being brought forward from our Financial and Administrative Services Committee meetings. First item is the accounts payable check register. Be so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable checks totaling $258,402.75 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hardy. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
Next item is the manual check register. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify manual checks totaling $97,618.92. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
And the next item is the direct payments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify direct payments totaling $343,618.92. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
The next item is our capital invoice approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling $188,446.25 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Tilley. Discussion?
This is our capital projects ongoing. There is some professional services there relating to the Recreation and Cultural Master Plan. A progress claim with regards to the wastewater treatment plant shoreline stabilization project, and a small invoice there for the wind up of the 2019 sidewalks.
Yeah, you noted the Recreation Culture Master Plan. I'm in conflict on that
Oh,
item,
I'm sorry.
Deputy Mayor, so I'll step aside and allow, I guess I'll go over to Councillor Tilley, and you can carry on with that, and I'll be back in a moment when you let me know.
Okay. We're doing the capital invoice approval. D8D, yeah. So who's playing who? I just brought it forward. Okay, all right, so, be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling $188,446.25 as per the attached report. So moved. Any discussion? Well, we just discussed that. Discussion, questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Sorry about that. Okay, our next item, 8E, is tax and other receivables adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivable accounts as follows, as per our report there. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores. Discussion?
Mayor Bent, there's three small adjustments there with receivables. One is a business that closed December 31st, 2021. And the other two are businesses that are still in the town, they just changed locations. So credits have been given to their previous accounts, but they have new accounts for the new locations set up.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Next item is project number 17-GI-22-00033, water and sewer scope change request. Be it so resolved that the town of Conception Bay South apply to the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure to amend the scope of the ISIP project number 17-GI-22-00033, water and sewer upgrades. The amendment includes repairs along the 800 meters of the water transmission main servicing the town. The cost will be offset by a reduction in the originally planned upgrades. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler. Discussion?
This is an approval to go to the Department of Transportation as per Councillor Tilley has brought forward under engineering, and it's pertaining to the transmission line where we're going to upgrade 800 meters, and we've taken it from, we're taking the funds from our upgrade project and applying it to this.
Yeah, and this has a significant effect for residents because the water main in that area has been found to be deficient in some areas in the way it was installed and so forth. So we want to make sure that we avoid further breaks and disruptions for residents by upgrading this particular area as it was found to be to need the upgrades. So unfortunately, it's a big expense to do it, but it's stuff that we have to do to ensure that we protect the system for the residents. So any further discussion on this matter? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 8G is a donation for the Northeast Avalon Regional Dare Committee. Be it so resolved that approval be given for a $2,500 donation in support of the Northeast Avalon Regional Dare Committee. Funds are available in the account as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores. Discussion.
This was discussed at our administrative committee, and this is a donation that the town has been doing for years. There was a little break in donation due to COVID, and this is a program that's delivered in the schools. This committee supports the RNC, and it is the Drug Abuse and Resistance Education Program, which is a really important program in our school system. So we will continue to support this on a go-forward basis.
Yeah, the DARE program is an incredibly worthwhile endeavor, and it's something I'm very pleased that we're supporting, and we're joining other communities as well in supporting this program so that they can continue to deliver it to students in the school system here in Conception Bay South. And I want to thank the RNC for including us in the DARE program and being part of it, and we're proud to be a partner with them in that for young people here. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And the last item is the Departmental Report. Be it so resolved that the decisions and recommendations of the Administrative Services Committee of May 9th, 2022, and the Financial Services Committee of May 11th, 2022, be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Next one is recommendations of the Economic Development and Tourism Committee. Chair, Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. We have two recommendations, one in the blanket, coming out of our meeting of May 10th, 2022. The first one is our 2022 Heritage Grant Program, which is actually 9A. Sorry, I didn't say that first. Recommendation. Be it so resolved that approval be given to provide grants totaling $15,000 to 9 municipally designated heritage properties within the town as follows. Guillen Building, 2297 Topsail Road, Topsail, $3,000. The Alderdice Property, 2350 Topsail Road, Topsail, $2,500. Prince of Orange, Loyal Orange Lodge, number 181, 5 Lodge Road, Foxtrap, $2,500. The Miller House, 2342 Topsail Road, Topsail, $2,500. Oaks Lane, Pioneer Cemetery, Oaks Lane, Foxtrap, $1,000. St. Peter's Anglican Church Cemetery, 1219 Conception Bay Highway, Upper Gullies, $1,000. Prince of Orange, Loyal Orange Lodge, number 23, 12 Biddlebite Road, Calabrese, $1,000. Topsail United Church, 2426 Topsail Road, Topsail, $1,000. St. Edward's Parish Cemetery, 63 Pond Road, Calabrese, $500. Funds are available in account number so noted. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Morris. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship. Correspondence advising of the Heritage Grant Program was sent to representatives of the town's 24 designated heritage properties, soliciting applications for the 2022 Heritage Grant Program. 10 proposals were received. Following an extensive evaluation by staff and review and discussion by the committee, one property was deemed ineligible due to the proposed work being for the interior of the building, and 9 properties are being recommended by the committee, as so noted in the recommendation, to receive grants through the 2022 Heritage Grant Program for the upkeep of their properties.
Further discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Yes? Next one? Okay. And our blanket recommendation coming out of our meeting of May 10th, 2022. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions made at the Economic Development and Tourism Committee meeting of May 10th, 2022 be accepted as presented and listed below and in our minutes. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Butler. At this time, other committee reports. Does anyone have a report from any of the other committees that we sit on? Councillor Morris does.
I can repeat a little bit from the story committee, as I mentioned earlier, about tickets going on sale tomorrow with our great lineup, and I know that in the coming days, the full schedule is going to be released, so I don't know about anybody else, but I'm really excited with our lineup this year, so I think tickets are going to sell fast, so be sure to get yours tomorrow.
Any other committee reports?
This is not a committee, but I just thought I'd mention, bring a little update. Councillor Hardy and I attended the 2022 Municipal Symposium in Gander, May 5th to the 7th. It was 2.5 days of sessions with representatives of municipalities from all over Newfoundland and Labrador. We attended just some examples of some of the sessions we attended. There was a mental health summit, which was very informative. And in the coming weeks, the municipalities NL will be launching a website with tools and information and webinars on to support mental health. So we'll be watching for that and bring some more information forward as it becomes available to us. We attended a session on the Municipal Conduct Act update, municipal governments, affordable housing, Municipal Assessment Agency 2023 update, sessions on climate change, asset management, regionalization. There was a presentation on the Health Accord, NL, and update on the wastewater effluent regulations. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was a pretty busy couple of days, but it was our first opportunity to attend something and represent the town. And anyway, just wanted to make mention of that. Thank you.